a seat. So for those of you who don't know Julien, he's one of the most prolific individuals in all of DeFi. I see you're wearing your Rec hat today, 1-year anniversary for Rec Magazine. How many people read Rec Magazine or Rec the website? Oh, wow.
You guys enjoy it? It's good?
All right, so yeah, let's just have a chat. This will be very casual. Let's start from early days, right? So for those of you who don't know, Julien's involved in a number of projects, right? Curve, StakeDAO, I can't even keep track anymore, Blackpool, Rect, what else? You want to say a little more?
Yeah, so Curve, StakeDAO. So Curve is the auto market maker. StakeDAO is decentralized exchange. We do options and trading strategies. We offer the best strategies APY on the market right now. We have Blackpool, which is the quantitative NFT like investment in the NFT market. We are the best one on Sora. We're also like top 3 on Axie. So we've been investing in the NFT market for like more than a year and a half now, and we have Guild. So we basically invest in play to earn NFT in the NFT market, and then we provide people that can play the game. So it's like passive rewards on the market, and I think we have like 20 million deployed on the NFT market. Then obviously like Rect. So Rect is the deep and the like underground investigative firm where we do and track whatever happened in the DeFi space. And then Stake Capital, which is the quantitative hedging firm on the market of DeFi. We do arbitrage, liquidation, market maker, all things. Like we control quite big market cap on the arbitrage side across multiple different chains, and and then we distribute all the earnings into StakeDAO, where people stake the SDT token. That's it.
Yeah, awesome. So I read about your bio, and you started. Let's go back. You started at 14 to do many projects, and you're a hardware engineer.
Yeah. So my background is embedded system, so like I spent more than 10 years in C++, C, microcontroller. Who's got like a background in embedded system, electrical engineering, like who's
electrical engineers?
Yeah, they are the best. So if you're looking for a job, I mean, just reach out. But yeah, that's my background. I started as mathematics, pretty deep into mathematics, and then went into embedded system, electrical engineering, work for defense, security and defense, and then I kept going.
Yeah, and you were early in Bitcoin, and then you discovered Ethereum in 2015. And what was the first like project? How did you go down the rabbit hole? You're the first flash loan on Aave, or some other?
The first flash loan in the entire ecosystem. Yeah. That's pretty good. I was using Aave, well, it was the first one back then. Got into Bitcoin early days because I was like playing Counter-Strike, the game, and one of my friends told me to run this algorithm for a couple years, and then appeared to be Bitcoin later on, and then like all the things like Mongox and all the story, and then Ethereum in the early days, and now it's like DeFi and multiple different chains, and and still alive, because like 1 month, 1 day in DeFi is like 1 year, right? So
yeah. So how are you doing? Like how do you? I guess slight tangent, but like on a personal note, how do you stay well in all the activity, like for all of us here, right? Like,
yeah, it's good. It's a good point. Like it's you've got highs and lows. Like it's DeFi can really track you down into the like rolling dice, like never stop. So you really have to like be healthy. And I mean, I don't say that I'm always super healthy. Sometimes I get like into drinking and like partying and all this stuff. But I try to be and stay healthy. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have a week of partying starting today.
Starting tonight?
Tonight, yeah.
No, I don't know. It started last night for me.
See, there you go. What do you? So now that Curve is really like the biggest DeFi project in the world,
Yes.
actually. Yeah. What are some of the challenges for you guys? Like, what's really? You have all these projects, right? Like, what are you thinking about?
Well, I think like Curve. At the beginning, it was very difficult for people to understand the concept and understand the token economics and understand how Curve works. And I remember like back then when I was doing like Curve wars and lobbying, people were like laughing. They were like CRV, why people do we need to lock? I mean, why should I lock and I can just sell it or I can just like do something else? Well, and now like all the projects, a year and a half later or a year later, they all copied the model of Curve, and Curve is really like the maths. It's a maths project built by Michael, and he's really the guy behind the scene that has been driving the entire. It's not like Uniswap, SushiSwap, or like Balancer. It's really like the concept of Curve is really deep into mathematics. Yeah. And that's the reason why it's not easy to grasp at the first instance. Yeah.
How many people have used Curve like regularly? Okay, cool. What do you think?
It's good. I mean, like a year and a half ago, there was like not many people, you know, and How many people lock CRV? Not many.
Oh.
Well, the thing is, like, you should. If you use Curve, you should also be a liquidity provider if you can, and also lock the asset, because then you will get 50% of the trades on the liquidation provision and 50% of the trade on the fact that you're locking the CRV. So it's, in a DeFi space, if you can be a user of the product that you use, then it's good because all the profits are being distributed back to you. So it's like, if you're paying fees on a transaction, but at the same time getting profits from the protocol, then you basically hedge, like you reduce your cost. So yeah.
That's alpha right there. So let's talk about some of the other projects. Like, how did Staked Out come about? And
so early days of Curve, I thought that I saw that the lobbying, you know, like lobbying is way more powerful than money, and if you control lobby, then you can basically indirectly like control many different things, like leverage many different tools on the blockchain space, and so I wanted to accumulate as much as possible. Lobbying on Curve, because if Curve is an underlying protocol for stablecoin, and it means that all the projects are going to use Curve, but not only people from DeFi, but also outside DeFi. And this is what we actually starting to see is like governments, countries, they will have to use Curve because it means that if an APY of a stablecoin is high on Curve, it means that indirectly people are basically minting cash on the other side. And because the algorithm is based on, it is providing such a minimal slippage and spread that governments, banks, financial institutions not using Curve right now are losing money. And so I was like, okay, I need to accumulate as much as possible, as much as possible Curve in a minimum amount of time. How can we do that? Well, build a decentralized exchange, and that's actually the reason we've staked out in the PPS, with PPS is perpetual for staking Curve, and then we get the Curve and then we boost all the different strategies across the entire StakeDAO platform. So that's what we did. We probably didn't execute it like the best way possible, and we had other projects that came into the play, like Convex, like other projects that executed a little bit better than us. But at the end, it's fine, because the only winner at the end is Curve, because then you're basically locking more CRV token, and then that's profitable. So that's the vision. We started to get lobbying on Curve, and then we start building more and more different strategies. Now we have options, fully automated. How many people understand options here?
Pretty good.
Yeah, so we have like strategy that fully automated the thing. And now you can also go into hedging mechanism. You have like call, puts, and you can basically do 50-50 in each of them, and then you can basically hedge against the market. And we're working now on leverage, so you'll be able to leverage different assets and different strategy up to 10x. So for example, like right now, if you believe that Bitcoin will lose 5%, you could do like take a bet on this and then go by 50% on your deposit. But this is fully automated, and we try to make things super simple.
Yeah. So you guys are. So let's talk about that. You guys are having an event in a few days called DeFi for your grandma, right? So tell us about that. Like, how do we bring DeFi to our grandma?
Yeah, I mean, it's really about imagine you have someone in your family and you want to make. You're building something and you're saying that the thing that you're building is super easy. Well, you should basically see how the person is actually using your product on the other side, and you will be really, really shocked that it's not as easy. Like really, really not. So the event is all about this, and yeah, please welcome to the event, DeFi for your grandma. It will be fun.
Yeah. So what would you say to the community building DeFi? Like, how do we make it actually easier to use and more accessible? Right.
Yeah, I think we need to focus on solving problems and not creating new problems. And if we can get those UX and the UI in a really simple way, I think one of the first the project that really successfully managed to make it super simple is Uniswap. I mean, you like it or not, Uniswap made DeFi super simple for everyone to be able to convert assets. If you think in traditional finance, the fact of swapping assets like FX and other things is not easy. Well, here now, everyone in the entire world can just trade without logging to a platform, KYC, ML, and different things. Maybe it will come soon. Yeah. But yeah, we try to extract the complexity of people using Web3 wallets, gas, multiple different chains, all the different things. Try to extract them and to make it super simple.
Yeah. So speaking of wallets and multi-chain, what's your idea on? Of course, these applications can be going to 10 chains, 20 chains. What happens next?
Well, next we build layer 3. Layer 3 is it's a layer that connects to all blockchains for so people can actually use them, because right now it's a complete pain. You have to log into a chain, into a wallet, transfer some asset, and then you want to participate into another chain, but you're like, oh wait, I don't have tokens to make transaction. So then you need to use the bridge. And then the bridge costs a fortune, costs a bridge, basically. And then you end up into a chain and you transfer some assets, but you still don't have gas to pay for the assets. And you're like, what's going on? So I think there will be for interoperability, there will be a layer of making things super easy jumping between different chains and different projects using bridges. And you have multiple different projects doing this, Composable, Connext, all those different projects are trying to make. So it's building a layer on top of layer 2 and layer 1, but just using an SDK and then going super fast. So then what we've been working on, and I think this will just, what's coming, if you think that DeFi is crazy right now, what we are entering is like just another level, because you will be able to do arbitrage across the multiple different chains, liquidity provision, strategy that will be just jumping between different bridges. Like this will be like, and we've been working on that, but yeah, this is intense. Like you have like FX on multiple different layers. And if you, for example, if you plug FX like Curve into Harmony, into like different like we just released a couple days ago, then you can do 10,000 transactions in like a couple of hours across multiple different chains. You can hedge, leverage, take profit. I mean, this is a lot. Yeah.
How do you? How should people get their minds around, like, let's say DeFi 2.0?
What do you mean, like?
Like understand what you're talking about. What's the best way to understand what you're talking about?
Yeah, well, we actually have an academy. You can take a look to StakeDAO Academy, and I challenge all of you guys to find a better place than the StakeDAO Academy to learn about DeFi. It's super simple. We try to make very complex concepts in a very simple way. And yeah, go through it, have a look, and then yeah, send me some feedback. But so we do like classes. People can go to the academy. And I think the best way to learn about DeFi, if you guys are not too much into DeFi or too much into blockchain, you're just like entering this new concept. I think it's just like by playing, you know. As soon as you start playing with DeFi, then you will not sleep for a couple months. And that's where you can tell yourself that you're starting to learn, because your mind will be just constantly thinking about new ideas and new projects. And that's the beauty of DeFi, but also the complexity of it, because it's so interesting that you never stop. And you basically find yourself working 20 hours a day, but it's not actually working, it's like passion, and you cannot stop. And yeah, that's fascinating. And I saw like we've been hiring a few new guys in the team across all those different projects. So I think now we're like 80 people, quite a big team. And there's this guy, he's like, I mean, this cannot be real. I mean, this cannot be real. It's like, keep saying that. He's just entered into DeFi. It was like 15, 20 years in institution, corporation world. And it's like, man, this is intense. Because then it's not only you enter the concept of DeFi, but you also jump into something that people don't realize from the outside world is Telegram, stickers, like, and then that's it. You join a group and they all like sending monkeys and like someone like hanging himself, like, and then you see like all those stickers. And then when you find yourself in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. loafing by yourself for a couple of minutes, that's where you can say you're crazy. I mean, and then that's happened to everyone. But you really need to experience it, and then that's it, yeah. But yeah, I think Telegram can be, we have blockchain and DeFi, but there's also Telegram. And people is like, yeah, it's a different world there. You never stop.
That's amazing. You mentioned institutions, so I'm going to ask you about that, because you're also talking about central bank digital currency on Twitter, and where are we in terms of institutions, and like, are you interacting with them, getting them onboarded?
Yeah, it's funny. I think I did the first workshop for Société Générale in 2016. I was the first guy to talk about Ethereum to those guys. And it's funny that now they are jumping into, I mean, they've been working on that for a couple of years, but the fact that they're bringing traditional finance, like the debt, the bonds, and all different things, into MakerDAO, and also like Aave is doing Aave Hark, like liquidations. I mean, it's always like it's like the like first they ignore and then etc. and then they fight us and then we win. The thing is like right now, that's why I always say like in DeFi, it's not about trying to convince someone to use your product, because if you're spending time to do that, it means that your product is not correct fit. But if you provide good utility, then people will come by themselves and they will realize that if they don't use your product, they're either losing money or they actually not grasping, like losing knowledge and they're not learning. It's exactly what's happening to traditional finance. Right now, they're actually realizing that to make their process easier, to make more money or to capture more audience and more market, they have to use this technology. I mean, there's no doubt about it. So it's not about us trying to convince them. For example, I saw like a reply that was good. Oh, we work on that for 3 years. But the thing is like, it's not because you work on that for so long that it happened. It's just them realizing that they have to use it. And this is a new paradigm, a new shift in the way they actually see this entire ecosystem. Yeah.
How do you onboard them? Is there going to be like a Curve institution?
Well, I don't. That's funny, but it will be. Right now, they're doing. People are like, okay, we want to use it, but the liquidity that is on those different pools, we have to understand where this liquidity comes from, because otherwise, it's like interacting or borrowing money from maybe some capital that are not correctly deployed, that are used by some not good people. But I don't think this is the correct way of doing the things. I think it should be better to analyze where the money is coming from, still use it, but maybe like get some penalty or redistribute some profits. It's like saying, most of the biggest bank in the world, like HSBC and all that stuff, they were built on some not so good business, like some dodgy kind of things, And now they're still operating and no one is asking them where's the liquidity come from, I think it's, you have different way, like Curve compared to many other different projects maybe. Curve is really, I think it's the only fully decentralized project. If you want to deploy code, if you want to deploy everything, you have to use the token, use the governance. There's no way you can do something on Curve without the governance, so basically the holders. And Curve, so saying that, Curve it's a protocol in a sense that normally we don't need to provide the UI. It's people like with their own project using the protocol. It's like MasterCard, Visa, they're using Swift, but you guys don't know this is Swift. It's like when you go to the web or WhatsApp or whatever, Telegram, you're using HTTP, you're using like encryption, but you don't really see it. And that's basically Curve. Curve normally is just like something in the background that if you want for your own project to have access to almost zero slippage, swap, access to unlimited, not unlimited, but almost like huge amount of liquidity, then you have to use a product. So we don't actually go outside and tell people you should use it. People use it because there's no other choice for them. Yeah. Compared to the competition.
Yeah, that's awesome. So maybe about Rect, right? So where does the passion for like journalism come from and educating people about DeFi?
Okay, yeah, it's an interesting story. So back in 2017, there was this concept of ICO. I guess you heard of it. Yeah. And so people were making a lot of money, And I was like, yeah, well, okay. Instead, I was kind of stupid, Instead of going for that path, I actually want and investigate a lot of different projects. And then I post on Medium my investigations. But apparently the wordings that I was using for calling those projects scam was a little bit defamatory. So then they sued me for more than 3.5 million US dollars, like 3 projects. They said they were not scams, but guess what? Today, they all disappeared. And some of them are like prison, so what can you do? And so then, I mean, it stopped me a little bit. I mean, when you get into that big lawsuit, it can be like, yeah, a little bit annoying, especially when you have a bull market. You know, you have like people like, wow, this is awesome, and yourself are like, okay, yeah, this is cool. And so then it passed, and yeah, I was really into this, like making investigation. I'm not sure if you saw, like I had like tweets, and I was the first one to really dig inside DeFi investigation, and now we have like new guys coming, and you will see like normally people do DeFi investigation for 6 months on Twitter, like those graphs, nice, and then but then they stop, and there's a new guy coming because it's too time consuming. So it's always like at the moment is the guy, the CTO from Sushi, is like taking the lead, but no worries, like a couple months that will be someone else. And so that's it. And then a year ago, because we did the anniversary, we had, so there was like one of my friend, and he was like, hey, we had like, basically we found the skills in a team to have the investigation side, the writing style, because if you read Rect, this is not like a normal newspaper. It is like, the English is just like top notch, and it was like, you know, like, and also like a lot of sarcasm. I mean, in order to write Rect, you have to be like mentally also Rect, you know, like this is like intense, you know. So yeah, that's what happened. It's like we found the best team, 3 guys, and I was like, okay, let's make it super simple, black and white, no advertising, no bribing. We had like so many people ask us to pay us to do like a little sponsoring, or there's nothing. And also like a lot of people got sued, but guess what? Rect is now anonymous. No one knows who's writing Rect. No one knows. Like, so you can sue Rect, but you can look at the bottom of the page. I mean, we're not responsible for the content that is being provided on the platform, you know? So now they're suing someone, but they're like, yeah, but there's no one. I mean, like, so that's basically the beauty of Rect, and this is how Rect was built, is by an idea, but having an idea is like, it's only 8% of a project, but then finding the right people, and then having the perfect execution. Because back then, at the beginning of Rect, people were like, Julien, why starting a newsletter or like something like that? Like, this will go for a couple of weeks. And now, like, it's like, Rect now is like, that's what I like. It's like built by the community and for the community. And I usually say like, we all Rect. And this is kind of funny because now like, the project is just like owned by the community. And yeah, if we've been doing a lot of investigation, like for example, the FTX things, for example, like recently, some people that got, like the guy, yeah, I mean, the FTX is a good example. The guy was like literally like crying. He was like, yeah, I mean, I don't know what to do. I need someone to tell the world that I've been Rect. And so, yeah, now we have like a few different articles coming, but always like pretty deep. And what we did back then, because of curve wars, you know, like people were criticizing at the beginning, curve wars, no, this doesn't make sense, like DeFi, lobbying, no, we want money, you know, like money is important, money. And well, now it's governance, but back then they didn't, people were like, no, this is not real. I think now we'll go like into DeFi wars and not curve wars, like multi-level projects. And tweeting is nice, but if you really want to tell the world how we, like where we're moving into, that's why we build a video. Who saw like Opium Diaries, Dystopian Dreams?
Yeah, okay. There you go.
Man, you guys have to watch it. Like all the people that didn't watch it, you guys are not gonna make it. I'm serious. I mean, this video, it's called, you go like to YouTube or to Rect, and you see like Opium on the top. And basically this video is about like telling, are we actually building the future of this society? Is what we're building truly going to impact the society? Is it something good? Is it something bad? And the video is still in black and white, a little bit of colors. That's what happens when you have a team that grows like pretty big. I'm a black and white guy, but then they are like, no, let's put like a little bit, because then the video is so intense, like it's just saying, goose down your spin, it's just like, wow. And this video was built homemade, and in 6 months, like literally all the drawings, and then we issue like NFTs from the video. But we're working on a new one. But this video is basically like a few different concepts. Is the world is going to fight for stablecoin. Russia, Europe, China, US, all of this. How people are currently playing the game. The 4D chess, like maybe the 5D chess coming. Like how all the different things are connected to each other. Who are the real players? Whatever you read on Twitter or somewhere, don't really trust it. You always need to verify. And this is what the video is also telling you, is like stuff is happening in the background that we don't actually realize. Like Coinbase, like USDC, USDT, all those different things, they're not like little games and they're basically about we're shifting into a new paradigm where we will need money, printing cash. It's basically what's been controlling the world over like centuries. And this is exactly what's happening. It's like there's a race to print money. And what's funny is like, again, somehow, I don't understand, the US is leading on this. It's like we never had in our pocket as European and also people from Asia, never had so much US dollars in our pocket. And we got wrecked because a lot of European, a lot of people that swapped to join DeFi, they basically sold their euros into USD. But if you look at the graph, USD/euros, it doesn't look very good, like crashed by 25%. So yield farming is good, but if you didn't make more than 25% over the past year, it means that you lost money. And you lost money if you sell now to come back into euro. But all those different concepts are inside the video, and it's beautiful. There's like a nice voice, a nice sound. Yeah, you should watch it.
Yeah, that's awesome. One more. Okay, you're the future of finance, right? So
all the future of finance. Yeah.
What's your 1-year dream? Like in the next year, what's your dream personally?
In DeFi?
You're like
my dream.
Yeah, Julien.
My dream, I want to go to space, and that's what I always wanted to do. So I'm just building to then make this spaceship. I know there's another guy doing it, but and you guys are welcome to come with me. That would be awesome. I've always been interested in space. I've been writing a lot about space, but in a DeFi, I think it will be what would happen if currently we have a couple of millions of users using DeFi. The world is like 7 billion, 6 billion people. Imagine if we enter 1 or 2%, 5% of the world population, then start using a blockchain. What will happen? I think there will be like some. It's kind of like scary and good at the same time. It's because as we super early into the game, and if you truly believe in a vision, for anyone that is holding some asset right now, Bitcoin or ETH, you guys are all going to be all gonna make it in the sense of having, if you're looking for wealth, you will have a lot of wealth in 10 years or 20 years if actually the vision of rebuilding. But then I wonder what will be the implication of all the people? Are we replacing the 1% by another 1%? Are we building, like this article on Reddit, I really like it. I usually read it once a year. I'm coming from the future, and I'm here to tell you that what you're doing is really bad. And it's this guy that has been predicting the price of Bitcoin every year, for a couple, it's on Reddit. You should search for it. And the guy is saying, this is very bad because in the future where I live and what you guys built, now we have citadels We have people that need a specific token to enter the Citadel, specific amount of Bitcoin, specific amount of Ethereum or whatever. And now you're starting to see it, like some NFT, people building metaverse. Oh, you got the NFT, or you can enter the metaverse. Oh no, you cannot enter, like all the different things. So it's fascinating, but also super scary at the same time. And also, another thing is like, I don't think DeFi will bring stability and blockchain that people are like saying, yeah, this is more transparent, this is awesome. This is more transparent, this is also like more crazy. Like I don't think like traditional finance is crazy, but look at DeFi, it's like 40 chairs, like people doing things to each other, like people like hacking project. I mean, this is a jungle. I mean, this is pretty sick.
That's awesome. So that's all the time we have today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.